We know that eating too much meat is not good for health. Oh, but imagine a meal without grilled beef, fried chicken, roasted pork, and sausages. It's like watching an action movie without any car chase scenes, hard to enjoy. But wait, did you know that every time we eat meat, we're making the earth cry? Why is that? How can we save the planet while still keeping our love for meat? Spend 4 minutes with me to find out why and become a superhero saving the planet. Imagine the Earth as a huge restaurant with an enormous customer base. 25 billion chickens, 1.5 billion cows, along with about 1 billion pigs and 1 billion sheep waiting for their turn at the table. To serve this vast customer base, we've turned a large part of our home garden, the Earth, into a food supply garden for them. Specifically, 83% of agricultural land is used to grow grass, corn, beans, for livestock feed, which is nearly 1/4 of the Earth's land area. Moreover, 27% of the total global freshwater is just to serve this feast. Among these, cows are the stars in resource expenditure. Raising a cow is like it playing a greedy eater game with you. You feed it a bunch of food, but the cow only gives back a tiny piece of meat. For example, you give a cow 100 candies, but in the end, we only get 4 candies in the form of beef. The rest, Mr. Cow keeps for himself. To produce a chunk of beef, the cow has eaten 25 kilograms of grains and drank up to 15,000 liters of water. That's the amount of water you use in a lifetime for showers. Especially if we consider the amount of food we are feeding these animals, that food could sustain 3.5 billion people. So, instead of pampering Mr. Cow with 100 candies, we could share it with many other friends. Did you know the meat industry releases emissions nearly equal to the total emissions from ships, airplanes, trucks, and cars combined? Yes, the meat we eat not only fills our stomachs, but also fills the sky. If pigs, cows, and chickens could keep their own diaries, the first page would surely read, "Humans, the cruel rulers." Every day we send about 200 million animals to heaven. That means in just half a year, the number of animals we send off is more than the number of people who have ever existed since the dawn of humankind. Of course, someone might say, but we raise them, feed them, give them a place to live. Yes, but imagine living in a cramped house with thousands of others with no personal space. That's the life of many animals on today's industrial farms. Most pigs are raised in confined spaces, lacking natural light, never experiencing sunlight. Mother pigs are often locked in narrow cages, only able to move forward or backward, and forced to reproduce continuously without a chance to rest. Similarly, dairy cows are under constant pressure to produce milk. Calves are separated from their mothers just hours after birth and are not allowed to nurse because the milk must be sold in the market. Beef cattle are often kept in restricted spaces, where they are forced to eat excessively to gain weight quickly. Particularly worrying is to ensure animals don't get sick and grow quickly in crowded environments. The industrial farming sector often uses antibiotics, up to 80% in the United States. However, this not only brings short-term benefits, but also creates a risk of increasing drug resistance. Finally, we must mention chickens, the animals that endure the harshest living conditions. Chickens on farms often live cramped, with no play area, unable to form natural social structures, so they often peck at each other. To avoid this, their beak tips and claws are often cut, especially for roosters since they cannot lay eggs and their meat is not as tasty as that of hens. They are often discarded immediately after hatching. They are thrown into closed boxes to die or are ground up in machines. Are you feeling disgusted by the way these animals are treated like I am? If you're an animal lover but can't give up your passion for meat, consider buying meat from places where animals live in good conditions. It will make you feel better about your meal. One thing though, organic products are currently very popular. But if you think organic means animals lying under the sun, enjoying the breeze and playing on the grass, you might be a bit optimistic. According to regulations in the European Union, an organic chicken might have to cram with up to 5 of its friends in a space only as big as your iPad. Quite different from the free-range chicken image we usually have in mind. And even if you imagine buying meat from a pure organic farm, meat is still a business. And sometimes the organic label is just a way to pump up the price a bit. In the end, I just want to say that if you can't go vegetarian, you might consider reducing your meat consumption a bit. Try something like Meatless Tuesdays, for example. Choose chicken and pork over beef and sheep as they convert their feed into meat more efficiently. And remember, if you're eating meat, especially beef, don't leave any meat on your plate. Oh, and the future might have meat. That's not real meat. There are companies secretly growing meat in labs. I've heard people rave about it, but haven't had the chance to try it myself. If any of you have tried these artificial meats, please leave a comment below to let me know.